Yes, yes, yes. We are live and direct. Right back at you with another edition, another episode of the 426 show with my co-host right here, Big OC.
Yo, we back. We back.
Back
Top of the
at it.
week. Top of the
Yes,
week.
sir.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I like that logo behind you, man. That look kind of slick right there, man.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that's the logo for everybody out there. You know, more coming soon. Merch
Yes.
coming soon. So,
Mm-hmm.
we trying to step the game up,
Uh-huh.
as we progress.
Yeah, we ain't trying, we doing it. The game always gonna elevate. You dig?
Hmm.
Always, man. So yeah, man. How was your weekend?
Man, weekend was cool, man. Just trying to keep it low key, man. Not try to get into too much ish, man.
Right,
I know this COVID is still out there,
right.
regardless of how
Yeah,
these people are treating it and
right.
all this nonsense that's going on. I've been seeing
Mm.
protests where they're burning masks in the street, right?
Yeah, it's
So
retarded.
that's yeah. You want to talk about not making any sense? You
Mm.
standing by a
Yeah,
trash can burning mass. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
So you know, um,
It's dummies, man. Look, it was All Star Weekend in Atlanta.
right?
Everybody was just at the concerts, all like just sweating on each other, breathing all
Yep.
their germs on each other and everything. Just enclosed environment, you know. People, look, everybody want to have fun, but everybody don't want to live. Like the
Yep.
real, like that. I'd rather be on an island somewhere, man. That's real fun, man. That's really living. Not
Yeah.
staying, you
Yeah.
know.
My people down south told me, out in Texas, um, they was having watch parties, at the local establishment. So
Mm,
some people just gonna go ahead and move on and let the chips fall where they may. I
that's
mean, I'm not gonna say I don't understand where they're coming from, but for me and mine, we gonna hold back.
exactly.
It
And
ain't that serious.
me and mine too. We a little bit got a little bit more common sense than that, man. So we gonna fall back, get in where we fit in when the time is right. Right now is not the right time, and we'll know when it's time. And everybody's so impatient, man. Time to
Right.
need to relax. But let's go ahead. Let's get right back. Get into it. Right into the mix, man. We'll start with these stories. You know. So I came across this, man. Did you know that? So Manhattan Beach. Did you know Manhattan Beach was owned by black people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Beach back in the day. A black family. Blacks couldn't go to the beach, so they had their own little enclave
Right.
that was surrounded by everybody else. And
Right.
this was pretty much the black only resort up in that area. And even if you go there now, it's still called the place. If you want to find black folks on the beach, where you go,
Yeah.
Manhattan Beach. That's where you're gonna see black folks when you dip by the beach. So, um, yeah, yeah, I did know that. There's actually a plaque up there.
Mm.
In
No,
reference
they gave
to
him a
the
plaque. Okay. Okay.
no, it's just something up there
It's a
letting you
plaque.
know that
Yeah.
this was that this was the place where this couple had originally started their little black beach. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
So
saying?
check this out. So this beachfront land, first of all, California beachfront property is prime real estate, like the
Now,
prime, the cream de la
now,
creme of real estate, beachfront property. So this black family owned Manhattan Beach, but in the 1920s, the land was stripped of them. It was taken from them by eminent domain. Like the city of Los Angeles took the land from them, just straight stripped it from them. And like you got to think, like all the houses and properties and businesses and all those things that have like from now since 1920 till now, like there's been billions of trillions of dollars in revenue have been generated from this Manhattan Beach locations, and So his family was their property was stolen from them in 1925. So now the city of Los Angeles is all of a sudden they're trying to I can't say the city of Los Angeles, I'm sorry, the county of Los Angeles is now trying to do the right thing and return the beachfront property to the black family. Uh, only thing about that is um, there are really aren't that many surviving people,
Right.
in the family. So, like in Manhattan Beach, used eminent domain in 1924 to force Willa and Charles Bruce, the city's first black landowners, off the land where they lived. They also ran a resort for black families during that time.
Hmm.
You know, and yeah, they lost the property. They got the property stripped from them. Now they're trying to get it back from them.
Now, people don't listen for what you hear in the story. I know you hear that, black beach, black people own the beach. What you need to listen for is, black people couldn't go to the other beaches.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to damn near buy a piece of sand and some ocean. You know what I'm saying, to
Right,
be able to get on the beach. And
right.
and that just shows you, if you go up this California coast, especially
Mm-hmm.
Southern California, you're gonna find that a lot of those coastal cities didn't even allow black folks to even live. Back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was written into their city ordinances. It was written into their homeowners associations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was written into their CC&R. So it's. I hope they do get their dirt back, and I hope the people are able to
But
open up something to commemorate.
but
You know,
here's the thing: that commemorating doesn't do anything. At the end of the day, I mean, a family was, I mean, a legacy. Like this is this, they arrived at their a legacy. Like there's only one living, surviving member of the family now. This guy
right,
named Anthony Bruce, who
right,
reside and he lives in Florida now.
right.
You know what I mean? And that's just one left person. So they just straight stripped them of their whole legacy, bro. Like, and now they're stepping forward to try to um, right the wrong, like over almost 100 years later. And like this is crazy, man. And I mean, I'm just glad at this point. I'm glad they at least acknowledge the wrongdoing. But now, is it too late? I mean, it's like there's only one surviving member of the family left. You know, so I don't even know why I picked this story because at the end of the day, like seeing a story like this is frustrating. It's like, okay, well, what can he do? What can we accomplish now? Giving this guy his land back, what does that accomplish? Like,
I mean, at this point, yeah, I would say if he gets the land back, he should donate it back to the black community, right?
right,
And say this land has to be developed in a way where it could get back to bring back some of its what it stood for back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Just have a
right,
little bit of a renaissance. Make it. It could remain a park, and it could be a place where black folks now go have their family reunions. You know what I'm saying? You
right.
know what I'm saying? We could look at it like that.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, just symbolism. Robbed us,
Ultimately,
man.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Symbolism,
At
man.
this
You know
point,
what I'm saying?
they waited you out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And they waited till the bitter end to try and do the right thing. So that's little known history facts that are good for people to hear, but never is it. The surprising part is black folks own some beach. The
right.
unsurprising part is it got taken from them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
not exactly. We not surprised at that at all, because that's what they do is they take. So saying from then, from going from this story, we're gonna jump into the next story because there's no resolve. Well, before in conclusion, they say LA County may return the beachfront land taken from the black family.
Hmm.
May. It's not
Right.
guaranteed, but they're considering it.
Yeah, yeah. They'll get the apology,
You know what I'm
or
saying?
he'll get the apology.
Yeah,
Right.
so that yeah, yeah. So I mean that's cold. I mean, justice isn't served, and hopefully somehow, some way there is justice served coming from that incident in itself, because there's a lot of things that have been done, to us, but not everything has been documented, but
Right.
that right there, there's a paper trail of that, so that's able to be verified and proven. So hopefully, I really, at the end of the day, um, the justice that's deserved in that situation isn't going to be received, and it's unfortunate. So going to go ahead and move on to the next story. You know, and here we are. Uh, Black man wrongly convicted, Mr. Curtis Flowers, right? Mr. Curtis Flowers, he was charged with murder. He was
Hmm.
charged with murder as a young man, and he didn't commit the crime. But of course, like many wrongfully convicted, you know, he was sentenced to jail for a crime that he didn't commit, for murders, and he served 23 years. You know, matter of fact, let's go ahead and play this clip. Let's see what. Play the clip. I didn't even look at the clip. Let's play the clip. See what they're talking about.
I
Hmm.
photographed in New York, in Philadelphia, in
After he
Paris.
skipped his
DocuSign makes
ad.
it easier for me to do business. When I think of
Oh yeah, this is your people too. This is in Mississippi. Yeah,
This $69 monocular telescope is taking the world.
yeah. So with that story there, man. So the guy, he does 23 years for a crime he didn't commit. He's wrongfully convicted, evidence tampered with, and for his time that he got, they want to compensate him $500,000 for 23 years, man.
Yeah. They say you get 50,000 a year, right?
Yeah,
But
terrible,
it's
man.
capped. But it gets capped at 500,000. So
That's terrible.
um,
Doesn't even get the 500,000 all up front. Only gets 50,000 a year. Like, are you serious?
um, you know, there's probably thousands of these stories right here, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
at this point, once again, we look back on a time where, and it's not even on a time. He got convicted in 1997, right? So
Right.
that's what Joe Biden's crime bill.
Uh,
We talking about around those times in the 90s. The 90s were hectic, right? So this cat gets convicted. Guaranteed, he probably had a poor lawyer. He probably didn't have any bread, so he's gonna
right.
get a public defender. He had 6 different trials. The first three trials, he got found guilty, but they were all getting overturned due to prosecutorial misconduct.
Right.
So none of the cases were ever clean. It was always some bullshit going on, right?
So my thing is, if the prosecution is having misconduct, they should have kicked it out of court a long time
Right.
ago.
Right. Not six trials.
Yeah,
So I think sometimes it gets to a point where a court just don't want to take a L, right?
right,
And it's easier for them to continue to fight the battle and not take the L because technically it's not them, it's the state. It's not me, it's the state. So I can continue. I'm coming to work. I'm gonna clock in, and I'm gonna go do my job here at the court, right?
right,
And yeah, we're not looking at this individual dude as one dude. We're looking at him as, nah, you were found guilty, so you must be guilty, right?
right.
And we're gonna start from that point, and that's where the common sense leaves, right? That's where the common sense leaves.
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, that was around the time of the Biden's crime bill, but we can't say that. We can't actually hold that responsible. I mean, but it could have played a toll. It might have, might not have. Got to go. We got to go do more. I got to go do more research into that. But yeah, just the fact that like it really upsets me, man. So Mississippi, the most that they could pay out for a wrongful conviction is 500,000. First of all, that needs to be that's crazy. They need to throw a law on the books. Mississippi needs to go ahead and especially racist Mississippi.
Come on, man.
The history of Mississippi, like you said, that guy is probably one of thousands of people that have experienced this. And for them to only allow 500,000 to be rewarded, 23 years of freedom, your 23 years of your life stolen from you is only worth 500,000. That's pitiful. And then to turn around, you can't even get it all in one sum. You only get a payment of 50,000 a year. So he has to live. If he doesn't live the next 10 years, he's not even going to receive his full compensation.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the setup.
That's
That's
man.
that's that's how they set the game up. But this is what's crazy right here. This is what people got to listen to. The prosecutor, Doug Evans, racially discriminated during the jury selection. Right.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
as you know, another way we can fight this battle against mass incarceration is for brothers out there to make sure you register to vote, and at the same time that has you eligible for jury duty. Right.
Right.
Make sure you show up to jury duty because right here, I mean, but once again, even though black folks was showing up for jury duty, you have a prosecutor who was discriminating. So trying to get black people off the jury, right?
Right.
So that just lets you know already things were stacked up against the dude, right? You're not gonna have a jury of your peers. You're gonna have a jury that was assembled to convict you.
Right.
So I'm glad he got off. And once again, cases get overturned for a reason, and people just need to look at the reasoning behind it, not just say he's guilty because this crooked ass court said he was guilty. Because right
Right.
here's an example of, okay, if you can't see that this was a crooked court, then what else are we supposed to explain? And
Right.
this was 1997, not 1937. You know what I'm
It-
saying?
yeah. It's like the Jim Crow days or something like here in this case. Like this happened in recent times, man. It's like, come on, man. Like you said, the there what happened to being tried by your peers, people that look like you know.
Right.
But the prosecution, the crooked ass racist prosecutor, he went above and beyond to try to rig the jury against him, man. And it's like I don't get it, man. Like there's a movie. I remember there was a movie called Devil's Advocate, way back in the day, right? And it was
Hmm.
like the attorneys and the judges and all that. They're like devils, and that's that. This is pretty much one of those stories because here you are. You have a man's life in your hands. You got a man's life in your hands, and you playing with a man's life and his freedom. And what's sad to me, what's sad to me too is like if you see the pictures of Mr. Flowers, I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but you see the pictures of Mr. Flowers, and he's happy, like he's super happy. Like, I don't I like I don't know. I couldn't find happiness in the situation. I mean, true indeed, you got your
You
freedom, but that's your God given right is to have your freedom, man. That's our
well,
God given right is to have our freedom and to live a free man in the world. So
you. I guess I would assume you being locked up 23 years, right? I think it'll kill you to feel sorry for yourself every day, right? So at some point,
right,
he got to find some way to get back to enjoying life, and I believe the anticipation of one day getting out is what he could smile for, right? And
right,
I don't know if he's religious or anything like that, but there's not necessarily anybody to forgive, and that's the screwed up part, right? Like, who
right.
do I forgive? I didn't wrong anybody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So there's
Mhm.
nobody for me to go apologize to. You know what I'm saying? To try to make it right. So you're just sitting back at that point, and like you said, you could only be dealing with the devil at that point
Yeah.
because nothing about the situation is correct. You know what I'm saying? No common sense can be brought to it. It's just you lose, and you're gonna continue to lose regardless of what you do,
Yeah.
and that
Exactly.
that shit don't seem right.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally unfair. And then, like, just imagine what he missed in those 23 years of life. I'm sure he didn't miss life. I'm sure he missed deaths. I'm sure he missed losing relatives. He missed just he's living behind the wall for 23 years, and then this is how you compensate him. You offer what is $50,000? I could run through $50,000 in 2 days.
Well, Mississippi is gonna stretch.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully, he
he,
getting up out of town. I believe he'll have more money coming. At this point, these are those times where people take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Or either they try to get that money up out of you. But I believe he gonna come out on top. You know what I'm saying? After all he's been through, I think people gonna look out for him at the end of the
man,
day.
he deserves after all he's been through. He deserves to come out on top, man. Right, with everything after everything he's been through, he definitely deserves it, man. So
Right.
but that's cold blooded. At the end of the day, man, they give you only $50,000 a year. Like that's crazy. That's just that's just insane to me. You're only allowed a maximum of 500,000, and then you can only get that Mississippi laws, man. Like they need to get with the times. This is in 1930. Like that's crazy, man. Now, if 500,000 1930s, then it'd be like considered like multi-millionaire, with 500,000 in the 30s. But here we are, man. It's the whole nother century, man. Like 2021, 500,000 isn't gonna go far, and 50,000 definitely isn't gonna go far, man. So yeah, God bless that man. And like I said, I envy him and how he can smile and find happiness in the situation that but at the same time, it frustrates me because I know that happiness comes from a man that was worn down. That is
Right.
like this is off my this burden is off my back. I could finally put it behind me. So is that a you know that that's I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's hard to explain because you put somebody in this prison system that we know is a faulty system, and especially if he's locked up anywhere in Mississippi. So it's you're in a situation where who knows how many people came into your life that didn't mean you any good. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You're not in a place where people are coming in with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? From the
right,
people that get locked up, from the people that come and go, from the guards to the warden to whoever is working in there. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Everything is probably a hostile environment. And you lose a certain humanity when you're locked down that long. So for him to come out smiling is, I guess, a testament to whatever it was he did in there to keep himself sane.
Mm. That's a testament to us, black people. Like we've endured a lot, man. We've endured a lot. We still here. We still standing strong. You know, it's not a testament to with the right, like to say, victimization. No, it's a testament to we stand strong, and can't break us. So with that being said, one crooked uh, incident into another crooked incident. So looks like Breonna Taylor. If you're familiar with the story with Breonna Taylor,
Yep.
you know,
Who's not, man?
yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
that caused protests. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
That sparked
yeah,
outrage.
it sparked outrage where um, basically she was innocently assassinated by the police. As they were serving a warrant, and which produced nothing. Like they're supposed to be drug dealers or whatever, whatnot, and that ended up not being the case at all. And upon serving the warrant, because they did it in the manner in which they did it, and they were in plain clothes, so Breonna Taylor's boyfriend thought they were intruders actually breaking into their home. So he fired a shot, and within him firing a shot, a police officer was hit in the leg, and then and of course they began shooting even more, and Breonna Taylor was killed, by the police, and of course the crooked police they brought him up on charges as attempted murder on a police officer, but now it looks like they went ahead and dropped the charges after the case being looked over, the crooked prosecution once again, and like you saw what's the guy name? He's married to what's the guy's name, man?
Who?
He was married to one of the
Who?
politicians as well too.
The attorney general,
Yeah, yeah, the
or is it the
AG.
attorney general or the other? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What's his name? Yeah, he married to I believe Mitch McConnell,
yeah, Mitch
Mitch
McConnell's
McConnell's daughter,
daughter.
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So they purposely covered up all types of evidence. They contaminated evidence. They lied. They lied about a ton of things, and then they tried to even blackmail this guy right here. I should say
Right.
they tried to whitemail him. Try to force him to accept pleas and everything. But now, finally are dropping the charges on him.
You know what you see is anytime when law enforcement is screwed up, they make a case real messy, right?
Yeah,
And I believe that's partially due to the environment we're in right now is this side or that side, right? And even in a case like this, people choose sides, right? And
yeah,
law enforcement knows that they have an entrenched support group. One being the Fraternal Order of Police. Their unions that even if they murder somebody, they don't want anything done about it, right?
Right.
So they know that the propaganda, for them is going to go out hard. But the propaganda for Breonna Taylor and the propaganda against her and her boyfriend is going to be heavy also, right? So
Right.
they're the ones that got to dig out of a hole because public opinion tends to be stronger than what the courthouse is saying, right? Because we clearly see the story says all charges dropped, right? They said he didn't know they were police. But you're still going to hear the people that want to take a particular narrative and say, no, people heard the cops saying or announcing themselves, right? That's how they'll phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
But no. One person.
One person, and he wasn't even
And and and,
close.
and it was after the fact because he
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
He had to be coerced into, saying that he heard something. So it was dirty, from the beginning. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So and as time went on and more information came out, you seen that the cops were not doing most of the things by the book. You know what I'm saying? Most of the things
Yeah.
were not done by any book. It was done by corrupt police officers that have done this more than one time
Yeah.
because they know who they're doing it to. So they're going to
Right.
enter in a different way. I
Yeah.
believe they possibly were some jack boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thought they were gonna come in and run into a gang of money
Yep.
and hit a stash or hit a, yeah. That's what they thought they were. That's what they thought they were doing. And
Yep. They cut too
and
many
then
corners.
the attorney general dude married to.
Yeah. So, we at some point we're going to have to look at this thing and say, hey, what can we do as African Americans to change our situation, to change how we're viewed in society, to change how we're viewed politically, to change how we're viewed in the media, right? And one way is what we're doing here on this platform is trying to bring more media, more black media, right? Because mainstream media, how they will speak on this story because it was a national story and it did make headlines. So they're going to speak on it, but they're not necessarily going to speak on it from the prism that we see it through, right? Our eyes are looking at this whole situation totally different. We didn't buy all the BS that initially gets reported, right? Because coming from the places we come from, we try to make sense of what exactly would we do in that situation. And what we find a lot of times is, yeah, we're all humans, but black folks operate different. And I'll give you a little funny example. Think about movies you see, right? Scary movies at that. Black folks, we know wherever the scary dude is coming from, we're going the opposite way. That's guaranteed. We are not running to the fire. We're running from the fire. And I'm not saying black folks ain't got courage. I'm just saying we just don't typically do things that are dumb. You know what I'm saying? If I hear the mummy, if I hear the mummy in the closet, I'm not going to slowly creep towards the closet and open it to confirm that, yeah, that's a mummy in the closet. No, I'm going to go ahead and dip and let the mummy do its thing. You know what I mean? Simple as that. So, all charges were dropped with prejudice, though. So they're saying the case can be reopened. It can be reopened if any new evidence pops up or any just any information that's going to help them, be able to, bring this back to court. They're saying they're going to bring it back to court, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I doubt it. I believe the facts are already out there. They'll probably never get laid out in a way where the naysayers will ever accept it. Because, like I said, they're still going to say, oh, if you shoot at a cop, what do you expect to happen? Well, I don't expect shit to happen. I expected him to do exactly what he did, being a legal gun owner and not knowing who's at his door banging on the door. That's just simple as that.
Exactly. Exactly. And
So,
I mean, it was so many things wrong with the case from the beginning, like the case of Breonna Taylor. Now, for you to go and try to like put this man on trial, try to fry this man to cover up for the mistakes that you committed, on your end. Like that's all they try to do is just use him as the scapegoat.
right.
You know,
That's all they did. Like I said, try to muddy it up.
and then you had Auntie Ruckus Owens, Candace Owens. You had her. She came in and what did she do? She just what she does best. She went and tried to assassinate the character of Breonna Taylor. All of a sudden, Breonna Taylor wasn't EMT, wasn't a public service worker. Now she was just big, notorious.
Yeah, she was a trap queen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like she was just this drug dealer that would put 50 Cent and Power to shame. And but when all the smoke clears, come to find out, they dropped the charges. They had to drop the charges on her boyfriend. But here's my thing: like, it still wasn't justice served. How much do you remember? How much was for the wrongful death?
Man, was it 12 million?
Okay.
Maybe 12, maybe 20. I know it was a big number. I know because do you hear from her mother anymore?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to get that bread.
Yeah, they all ducked out of. But I mean, I don't. It has to be draining anyway to be in the public eye. Going through this. It has to be somewhat draining having to deal with this BS in the first place. Like, so.
Yeah, 12 million. I was right.
Yeah, but you know what? It still isn't justice for her, even though the charges were dropped against her boyfriend. Still isn't justice until people are convicted of her death. Like, money isn't going to bring anybody back.
Yeah. Nobody was charged for murder, so looking for that is it's going to have to be something that pops up in 5, 10, 15 years because we're sitting here wishing and hoping, right, that one of those cops there that night would do the right thing, right?
Right.
And you see where we're stuck at, where they say, no, it's not all cops. Well, all the cops there that night. It's all of them. You see what I'm saying? All of them. You know what I mean? So, don't say all of them. Well, in that situation, we got to say all of them.
Right.
Because all of them were lying in one form or another. Then the one that was recklessly shooting, he could have killed somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So which one of them you want to stick up for? Which one of them you want us to sit back and empathize with and say, oh, okay, I get it. I don't get it because technically, if things were done correctly all the way around, they would not have been there.
Right.
And that's where I start. I don't start with all that, oh, he shot at a cop. I start at they should not have been there.
They should not have been there. They're serving a warrant that shouldn't even have been served in the first place.
Exactly. I'm not letting you get me into that. Oh, what do you think's gonna happen if you shoot at a cop? Nah, 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 nah,
Yeah, like
nah,
what's going to
nah.
happen if somebody's banging on my door in plain clothes, looking like they trying to break in my house? That's what the question they need to be asking.
Exactly.
You know?
Not announcing themselves
Yeah.
because I'm standing in the front room trying to figure out what's happening, and y'all
And,
outside trying to be sneaky.
yeah.
You trying to create the issue. That's what you're trying to do. You
Yeah.
trying to create the drama.
And like you said, like there was one guy that stepped forward saying that he heard them announce themselves, but like the immediate neighbors, they didn't hear it.
Right.
So it's like, come on, give me a break, man.
Hey. Hey, listen. To all the law enforcement out there, I don't. I understand your guys' job of choice. Okay, you weren't drafted into that job. You weren't born to do that job. You didn't inherit that job. The job wasn't handed down to you. You filled out an application. You went down there. You had an interview. You ran 4 5 laps under 12 minutes, and they gave you a badge and a gun. So I'm not sure why that makes you feel like you're better than other folks out there, because that's the sentiment that a lot of people in the black community have, that you've got this badge and you've got this gun and you feel like you're better. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, if you feel like you're better, then be better. Be better.
Exactly.
You should be the best. You should be
Exactly.
the absolute best. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. I don't have anything against law enforcement, but I do have something against the ones that don't say something when they see something, because that's what makes us lump y'all all in the same bag.
Right.
I don't want to hear you say I didn't do it. Well, did you know? Because I know you seen the police report. The police report said, this, and this. If that's not what you saw, then did you say something? Nope. Well, then there it is. How are we supposed to trust you on our end if you lying to your boss? You lying to your boss.
Yeah, and that's the thing with police officers. Not all cops are bad cops, but I'm definitely not saying all cops are good cops. That's for sure. That's an actual factual. There are some bad cops out there. The bad cops need to people, the good cops need to speak up. You know, at the end of the day, and this right here was a completely foul situation. And the thing about it is, when police make mistakes, that's one thing. But when you purposely do things, that's another thing. And when police make mistakes, somebody loses their life
Right.
for the mistake that the police officer made. That's completely different from any other job. It becomes you have a huge responsibility, and you should take that role that you play serious. And you're supposed to be serving the people. And at the end of the day, I'm just glad that the charges are finally dropped. I will be happy when the police officers are convicted, because at the end of the day, this did lead to a loss of a life, and it didn't have to happen at all whatsoever. So, I'll be satisfied when somebody is convicted for the death of Breonna Taylor, but it doesn't look like that's about to happen, unfortunately, with the crooked attorney general and the prosecution and the police officers and whatnot. It's like we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
We'll
how the
see.
rest of this play out. But I don't have too much faith in the justice system at the moment. Even though the charges were dropped, never should have been in court in the first place. But they're trying to save face for their error and mistake that they made. You know,
Yep.
so so
Go ahead
yeah,
and file your civil suit, homie.
yeah,
Put your civil
that,
suit in and get your little cheese up.
yeah, get your bread up for
Hopefully, in
wrongful death.
5 years, we don't want to see your ass across the TV screen in 5 years getting arrested on some bullshit.
Yeah,
That's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see the Rodney King.
you're
I
right.
don't want to see. I don't want to see you
Rest in
get a
peace, Rodney
bag.
King, man. Rest in
But
peace,
I don't
Rodney
want to.
King. Man.
I don't want to see you get a bag and then now you steady in and out of jail on some bullshit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Acting up in public and shit, dumb shit. Get
Yeah.
your bread and duck off.
Yeah. But make sure, but get on them, man. Get on them. They made your life a living hell. The day they came knocking on the door and killed his girlfriend. All right,
You better
rest in
get up
peace,
out of
Breonna
Kentucky though.
Taylor.
You better do that away from Kentucky.
Right.
That's what I suggest.
Kentucky,
To a more progressive
Mississippi.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Come on to
Kentucky,
Cali, man, and talk
Mississippi.
shit.
Like, come on, man. Like these southern states, man. Just the injustice is just ridiculous, man. They need to.
But before we move on, with what's crazy with these southern states is shit. It seems like you got people trying to move back.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, if y'all gonna move back, don't move back with the mentality of, oh, where we coming from, everything was so much more expensive. We finna go over there and just buy shit up. Nah. You gonna have to
That's why they're moving
bring.
though.
I understand that, but you know you're gonna go out there and get fucked off. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't bringing attorneys and judges and all that kind of stuff with you, because hopefully the politics you bring helps change those states to blue states, because you know you got a lot of black folks moving to red states. So
Yeah,
as
that's
far as I'm
true.
concerned, you know what I'm saying?
That's true, and they're moving like we said though, is because of the affordability. Because those backward states with all with all the Republican voters that are voting against their own interests. Like I don't understand. They keep voting in Mitch McConnell, but it's like, he runs one of the most poor states in the union. Has been doing it for years, but they still keep voting him in the office, and they don't understand that they're voting against their own interests when they vote him in the office.
Hey man, I don't even know what to say about most of them southern states, man.
Mm.
You know,
And then I don't know what to say about this story right here, bro. Like a lot of things just aren't making sense in the world today, man. So it looks apparently in Switzerland they voted to uh, to remove the burqa, right? And they want to stop face coverings in public, right? But it also has it's not just to do with the religion. It also has to do with the mask. All with people wearing. So not only I thought this was just the mask whole anti-mask thing. I thought this was just an American thing, man.
no, it's a right wing thing.
Yeah,
You
but
see what I'm saying?
going
We
around the
talked
world,
about it, bro. We talked about it. You see, it says European,
true,
right? It says European countries, right?
right,
So
yeah,
you know we ain't nothing over here but a little brother, cousin. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So you got left wing and you got right wing over there, and it just so happens that their right wing politics seems to coincide with the things that right wing people think over here.
Yeah, so it looks like the voters approved the proposition banning facial coverings in public, and there's been like you said, it's a European thing, I guess, or right wing, and the right wing consists of a lot of Europeans, that are supposed to, but even though our right wing is supposed to be the patriots or whatever, whatnot, but I mean, it doesn't. It's not adding up. It's not making sense. Like Switzerland was actually doing good when it came to their response with COVID. Switzerland was decent, but Switzerland was decent because they followed the protocols. They did the social distancing. They wore the mask, and they immediately they were on top of COVID as it was happening. So
Right.
once again, they fall victim to politics and try to politicize a virus.
And that's pretty much all they're doing. You know what I'm saying? A ban. When you say ban, that means there was somebody sitting there in opposition that had a personal issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you
Yeah,
ban something, to me, you got a personal problem with something. You banned it. You couldn't just say not required. Wear one if you choose. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Not
Yeah,
tell me I can't if I want to. You telling me if I want to, I can't.
yeah,
That's the part I don't get. That's the part I don't get. But that's once again shows you how politics spreads. It spreads quickly. You know what I'm
spreads
saying? And
quickly.
it's easy to stick with a simple minded ideologies. You know what I'm saying? Shit that makes you feel good. Dumb
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. That's what it is. Is dumb stuff. That at the end of the day, like they just need to sit back and look at their numbers and realize that the way they um, handled the pandemic worked. So why try to take a step backwards now? Like it's like you're sabotaging yourself, shooting yourself in the foot.
See,
Just
and if you read simply, it says the ban barely passed a majority vote with 51.2%.
mhm.
See, stuff like that tells you it shouldn't be done then. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? If the other half ain't with it, that means something may not be right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't like. That's what I
Yeah.
don't like in all these places that claim to be, dem- democracies or democratic republics or however the hell you want to place that shit. But where's the freedom in this?
Yeah. Yeah. There's people, stupid people, man. Stupid people do stupid things, man. Stupid is as stupid does. So, you know, and I'm done with all the politics. Stupid people. I'd rather just sit back and and enjoy myself, man. Enjoy my time here while we can, and with what I was able to do that this weekend. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
as they released this past Friday, March 5th, they released "Coming to America" too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I waited a long time for this. This is one of my uh, favorites from my teen years. It's like this movie was was a part um, of pop culture, American cinema.
Right.
This coming to America, man. And I mean, I had thought about it. I was because sometimes my lady, that I'm involved with, that I have a relationship with, sometimes she does. She said she'll do anything you like, Your Highness. like I'll be like, what do you want to eat? Anything you want to eat, Your Highness. Like she does that, like like messing with me, just
Mm-hmm.
I just think about so many pop references that came from this movie, man. That came from Coming to America too, man. So just to just to be able to enjoy this movie again, I'm glad that it did come out, and it did take too long to come out. I wish it would have came out a lot sooner, but I saw
Mm-hmm.
it this weekend. You get a chance to see it?
Yeah. Let's back up. Let's back up some.
Uh,
Let me put you on a hot seat, right?
uh,
Uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, where you putting it?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna
An
give it an
eight.
8. Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it an 8 because
Wow.
because I'm gonna give it an 8 just for the simple fact on how it actually stuck to the storyline. It went from it didn't lose the first storyline. It didn't lose the original feel. You know, and they were able to go and bring back all the characters from the past. So only ones we're missing was the Jerry Curl dude, let
And
the soul glow, just let your
and
and then look, even
where
there
was
was even
Patrice? I ain't
huh?
see. I was looking for Patrice.
Yeah, and her, yeah, that's what I said. And Samuel Jackson, Samuel Jackson could have came, they could have showed, but other than that, they had every other single character, and even they didn't have the Soul Glow guy in there. What was his name, Derek or something?
Eric
They,
LaSalle.
yeah, they didn't have him in there, but there was a scene where they had the poster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know
They
what I
had the
mean?
Soul Glow bottle,
Yeah,
the Soul Glow bottle in a barbershop, and the same old
yeah,
same
yeah,
poster, same spot.
yeah. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. The storyline was cool. I felt like his son, he could have had a more of a charismatic, more funnier son, but the storyline, I liked it, man. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It was fun. Um, it was funny. Wesley Snipes' character was a refreshing addition to this one, man. He played it well. He played it very well, man. So
Okay.
yeah, I I
Um.
I enjoyed it. How about you?
Okay.
What you give it out of 10?
Man, I was such a fan of the
Mhm.
first one. Right.
Right.
I mean, I can watch it at any time. I mean, wanting to know it word for word. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the whole barbershop scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all
And
of
it,
it.
it, it was
Yeah.
something that made, I mean, everything, like just the one liners that went down in there in that movie, just, you it gave you a feeling, right? So as you're watching it, this new one, you're trying to, capture that, your mind can only go back to the original, right?
Right.
So you're thinking, trying to put, two and two together. And I could see out the gate how they were trying to bring those people from the 80s, those people that were in their 20s and 30s in the 80s.
Right.
Early on they tried to bring them back in, right?
Right.
Because a lot of the things were older references. They started it off, the same, with him being in the bed, with the music in the shower and all those things like that. So I believe, the music with the funeral and Gladys, Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of looking at it like, damn, they done made Coming to America to the musical. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, they done made this shit a musical. You
Yeah.
know
I
what
can
I'm
see.
saying?
I can see that. I can see that. That
So,
that 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 did have like kind of like a little corny type of feel
right,
to
like why
it.
we always
Yeah.
dancing? But
Yeah.
I I I want to look at it from the standpoint that I hope that it gets the reception that it should get from the others, right? Because you may have some people that didn't see that first Coming to America and maybe didn't even understand a lot of the nuances that go on in the community, right?
Right.
But this one, it seemed like they were trying to make sure that people that aren't within the culture understand what's going on. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It was kind of made a little cookie cutter. And when you mentioned Wesley, his character bothered me a little bit because I remember Colonel Lee Z in the first one. Colonel Lee Z was stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, where were they trying to go with Wesley's character because he was bopping the whole flick. You know what I'm saying? Body
Yeah,
moving weird ways and
yeah,
just like he was just they had
yeah,
him
but you
out
got
there.
yeah, but Colonel Easy would stand up, but then at the same time, they were like the more, Eddie Murphy's Eddie Akeem, um, they were like the more polished, bougie. You know what I'm saying? They always been that, And then, Wesley's character, they were more the hood, more down. You know what I mean? And like I thought, he played it good, man. He played. He, he was
I,
he
I, I
was
mean,
he was
I,
funny, man. It was
if we just want to look at it as we I guess we have to separate the two movies. Yes,
yeah,
this was a sequel to the first one, but I think
yeah.
we have to separate them into two different categories, right?
So out of a 10, what you gonna give it?
I'm gonna have to 6.5 it, man.
Oh man,
6.57 it. 6.57 it, man.
so six
Because
point five seven. So
yeah.
okay. Would you watch it again?
I watched it like 3-4 times,
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, see,
right? And only because I watched the original probably 1,000, right?
right. Yeah,
So
we
I know
all. Yeah,
each time I watch it, I'm gonna pick up something, pick up something, pick up something, which you may give me 2 weeks with it. I may have a different opinion. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But I'm trying to. The first one, things could grow on you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Now
yeah.
everybody old. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
you know, I'm not gonna put down Leslie Jones, but all the way they had her operating in there, just I don't know. It seems like they had a lot of extremes. They were trying to cater to too many groups. You know what I'm saying? They
Right,
were trying to cater to too many people's tastes, and I'm not sure if they needed to. You know what I'm saying?
right. Well, me, I look at it like this. What I do like the undertone of the story. I saw this coming though with the as far as a woman can rule the country. Like I saw the undertones of that, so I like
Right.
how they adapted to that in the storyline. Like I
Social
appreciate
messages.
that. Yeah,
Social messages, right? When are
yeah.
you looking to be entertained, or are we looking for a whole bunch of social commentary?
Well, are we looking to be entertained in here and like here, especially today? This is Happy International Women's Day too. So I like that. With me having a daughter, I like seeing that. How they carry that part of the storyline.
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah,
good, but
so
the
it's not
kings
good.
get assassinated. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Kings
that's
get
true.
attacked. There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? There's a
Mhm.
reason why. They're the way they are because Colonel Ez was finna take Hakeem out, right?
Yeah,
You see
but
what I'm
it's
saying? He wasn't playing no games with it.
yeah,
The dad told him, "Hey, you're gonna get assassinated, player. It is what
yeah,
it is."
yeah, yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
there's a certain level. There's a certain level that's
yeah. But
required to. I hope there's a certain level of testosterone that's required to run a kingdom. I'm not saying she can't be a queen. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
Colonel Ez, when he approached her, he was like, "Yeah, take her, take her.
yeah,
We gonna hold her till he
yeah,
get back."
yeah. But and then what happened though?
Five,
Yeah,
6, 7 people had to come.
yeah, no, they didn't take her. What happened is he ended up like barely leaving with his life. She said, now do you want to solve this diplomatically with the
Yeah,
stick in
yeah,
the
yeah,
face?
yeah.
You know what
They
I
they
mean?
they 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 played the story out,
Yeah,
but at
you
the end
know.
of the day,
I mean, and then you got to look at it like this, like, okay, I mean, Zamunda is a fictional country, of course, right? But Liberia isn't. And Liberia is one of the first nations with a female president,
I mean, I
black
don't know
woman,
if that's
female president.
anything to write home about Liberia, but I guess.
No, I'm just saying though. So and like you said, it takes testosterone to run it, but I mean, there was no testosterone, but she didn't hesitate to defend herself and to take people's lives. You know, to defend her life and to take other people's lives, trying to take her life.
Oh yeah, once
She was
once you
power.
begin to build an apparatus around something, and you have enough people that are in agreement with it, that are going to support the decisions that are made. Some people are just about country, so yes, they're going to support the whatever leader they have at the time.
Yeah,
But do they command the same respect and fear that a leader should sometimes? Because you are the leader of the army still a lot of the times, right? We
right.
do see countries where they try to overthrow them. So
True
I'm
that.
just saying, at the end of the day, there was lots of messages in the movie, and I get it. I get it. I see who the writers were, the directors, and things like that. So I get it.
Right. So at the end of the day, you give it a. You said a 6.75.
Yes, yeah, 6.5 to a 7, man. I think they were lazy writing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You had 30 years. 30 years. This should have been.
But see,
This
that's the
should have.
thing, though. It's such a almost 30 years. I mean, it's hard to follow up with something 30 years. 30 years later. I mean, that's hard. Like it's hard. First of all, it's hard to capture the greatness of the first one. The first one was genius on so many levels, on comedic levels, on and the timing, just the story in itself, the costumes and everything. So just to have to follow up that, it's a hard act to follow. The first one was a hard act to follow. So just for me, them being able to be that as consistent as they were on the second one, that to me that was pretty impressive. I didn't expect them to be able to stick to the storyline as well as they did. And they did that, man. And there's some things that could have been better. Yeah, I wish Randy Watson would have. I wish he would have showed up a lot sooner instead of the grand finale. But
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, man, it was a feel good fun movie that you could watch with your kids. Most of the movie, not all parts of it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most, it was a feel good movie, and I'm glad it came back to fruition. I wish it would have happened a lot sooner. I feel like they missed a really big bag on this franchise.
But
And so many
let
so
me
many things they could have spun off on this.
right. But let me tell you how why I think they cater to the audience of today. Right.
Hmm.
The first one, you had maybe how many sexual scenes were in the first one?
Yeah, it was a lot of sexual overtones in the first one.
No, the first one not as much as the second one to me.
You gotta remember. So yeah, I remember. Your royal penis is clean, Your Highness. First one,
That happened in this one
right? Then you gotta remember.
with a female this time too.
Yeah, yeah,
They didn't. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Then the Reverend, you know, God knows what the Reverend in the first one. Well, he's judging the pageant. Then Akeem at the basketball game. And she, pleasuring him at the game. Um, where else? There's a couple other ones. Or was there? Oh, yeah. With Mr. Soul Glow and her. You know. Um, yeah, it was a few scenes. I don't know about the second one though. How about the second one?
Hey, The second one had Leslie Jones in
Mm,
the bubble bath with the brother coming out the water.
yeah.
Then her telling him one more time, going back.
One more
You know what
time.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully, too many kids ain't sitting in the audience looking at their mom like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah. But I
See what I'm
mean,
saying?
that was in the
What's he
first
doing?
one.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then what else?
yeah. Then it's the son. The bathers came in, to bathe the son. Um,
Mm,
then his groomer came in, said she's gonna, cut his hairs. Then he thought, oh shit, my bald hairs. That's how he was looking.
yeah. So it's like this. It's pretty much like no more than the first one.
Then Colonel EZ, I think he was, he's a dad, but I think he may be, batting both sides. You know what I'm
Why? Why,
saying?
why you saying that?
He had that overtone. It
His
seemed like they
son.
gave him that kind of, that kind of swag. Of because he
He had
wasn't
that
with no
lean.
women.
No, that's that. He had that gangster lean. That was.
Said he had all that extra. And all that extra gyrating he was doing with that little feather in front of him, you know what I'm saying? Had a
Yeah.
little skirt on, a little kilt, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was a good movie, man. I only watched it once. I'm gonna watch it again. I enjoyed it, man. You know, I'm gonna check it out. Because I like just like you said with the first one, you have to go back and watch the first one. You miss we missed so much stuff. Like the first one, we seen thousands of times. So I'm gonna give it another go, and then we'll see where it stands. But I can honestly say, my first time seeing it, I wasn't disappointed, and my only disappointment was that it took so long to finally come back. That's my only disappointment in the whole thing.
I don't know how Rick Ross turned African, but came back from America with a son. I'm like, how long did you work on that line?
It was cool, man. It was a good movie, man. I'm glad they did it, man. And it just shows is another form, just shows black excellence, man. At the end of the day, man, that's all the production, the original. They created it. You just think,
White director.
yeah, but just think they created
White director. Remember that.
a whole entire world.
Remember though, white
Yeah,
director.
yeah, right
White
director.
director telling the
But
black story.
yeah, but who really running it though? At the end of the day, we all know Eddie Murphy is running the whole ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He chose the dude. That's the
Yeah,
same dude who did. You seen Dolomite?
yeah,
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 the same director.
yeah, yeah. So he stuck with it, just like Wesley Snipes was in Dolomite as well. So it's cool seeing Wesley Snipes get his acting chops in after getting leaned on because he had a training camp. So they went ahead and snatched him up out of the world and hit him with taxes, tax evasion, and all that whatnot. So it's good to see Wesley Snipes working, and it's good to see the black creatives in Hollywood doing their thing. And like I said, I'm still sticking with my solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
Yeah. Maybe over time,
Mhm.
it'll grow on me.
Right, but
But
hey,
even from the music, what I'm saying, I didn't.
yeah, yeah, the musical part, they could have downplayed that a little bit more, but they were celebrating the life and death of King Joffrey. So you know,
Trophy Jaffer.
it was good, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get off of this and go watch that.
Right.
So, yes, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, the bell, notification, leave a comment, leave a dislike, and if you leave a dislike, make sure you leave a comment on what you dislike. And
Right.
we want to thank y'all for tuning in to the 426 show, and catch us back on the next one because we're not stopping. We're only going up from here.
Peace.
Peace, my host. I'm gonna say peace to my host, Big OC, and I'm also shout out my boy Ratio that got us up and running. With the show. I want to shout him out. It's your birthday, Ratio. Happy birthday to you, my dude. And
Happy birthday.
yay. So with that being said, turn up, Ratio, and we'll catch y'all back here on the next show, the next 426 show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.